Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Dugout Podcast. I am your co-host, Andrew, and tonight, for episode 2 of season 3, we are joined by Christopher Cox, super Chelsea fan.
Super.
Now, I had to mention that because, unlike me, he's not wearing his colours. I don't have on red, but, it's still Liverpool. It's still a variation of, my shirt. So, I have my colours tonight. But, sir, last time you were here, we spoke about Marissa Pochettino, and we spoke about the job he was doing at that stage. You mentioned, I think you and Marissa both agreed that Pochettino, needed a bit more time. You said he had a lot of young players in his squad that needed a bit more time. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for Chelsea, because he made a managerial change, he didn't get time, and Enzo Maresca is now the man in the hot seat.
Yeah.
So, sir, 6 games in, what are your thoughts on Enzo so far?
Well, Andrew, thank you for having me again on the Dugout Podcast. It's always a pleasure, man. To be honest, I think Enzo Maresca is doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? One, gas at the man too much, so early. But to be fair, I think the man is doing a good job. 6 games in, 1 loss, 1 draw. Obviously, nobody had us to beat Manchester City first game of the season. So
yeah, that was a difficult start.
That was an obvious one. But not only the results, but the performances and seeing how the team playing, is for a fan, get your hopes up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the truth, you know what I'm saying, it's good to see the team playing good, playing well. You clearly understand and see what Enzo Maresca is trying to do. He was clear and he came in and said players for each position that he want. You know what I'm saying? And I think the guys just need a little more time. I don't think that I want to get too ahead of myself.
But said
I want to get too ahead of myself.
Said get your hopes up.
Yeah, get my hopes up, but still,
Yeah.
Baby steps. I finished 12 last season.
I like you, Pongo. You finished them?
I finished 12 last season.
12? Yeah, didn't worry, boy. But I'm going to finish them a little farther we table.
So, it's still take time, man. Gotta get consistency right. And I'm starting to see that. So, after 6 games, it's kind of hard to actually be confident and to say, yeah, Chelsea back. But it's a good start.
Okay, a good start. I would tend to agree. I've seen about 2 or 3 of Chelsea's games so far this season. I definitely watched the one against City. I saw the victory against Wolves and I saw the victory against West Ham. I would say a steady start.
Yeah.
I like the fact that, like you said, there seems to be a clear plan of what he wants to do. I like the sort of enterprising play that the team is producing in midfield. I think the team right now has a nice balance, and I like the fact that he seems to be clear on who his starting 11 is. There's not much rotation so early, or at least so far.
Correct.
And I think he's definitely have a positive impact on the team because key players like, for example, Palmer,
Jackson
has come good, but I was saying that Palmer, his form has not been affected by the managerial change, which is always a good sign. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
But Nicholas Jackson is looking more like the player that I believe you all thought you bought. Enzo Fernandez seems to be rejuvenated, as does Moises Caicedo, and I think the back 4, apart from maybe the goalkeeper, looking solid.
Yeah,
for the most part. But like you said, I think 6 games in is definitely too early to make a conclusive judgment on where Chelsea's heading or where your ceiling could potentially be this season. But it's a very encouraging start. I think tactically, seems like he has a plan. He seems like he knows what he wants. Not me. Before you interject here, what are your thoughts about his handling of? You mentioned that he seemed clear on players, but what are your thoughts on the treatment of certain players over the course of the summer? Chiefly people like Conor Gallagher and Raheem Sterling, especially Sterling, who was unceremoniously, showing the door.
Well, when it comes to Conor Gallagher, we can only speculate, because my thinking is that any manager will want Conor Gallagher in the squad.
Right.
So I think that Conor Gallagher is probably above Maresca in terms of like the board probably wanted to come together to sell him, for a profit, a player that comes to the academy.
Right.
Even before Maresca arrived, it was always thoughts that we want to get rid of Conor Gallagher.
Right.
So, but not to the side. But Sterling. Look, listen, the man came in, the man assessed the players pre-season, and he made a decision. And he made a decision early.
When you say early, right? When you really
early enough.
Because I feel that you misleading the narrative, right? I just normally do. No, because I was alive, so I know what happened. You trying to tell me something different.
Listen, the man made an assessment early enough. Allow the person to know who he plans and who's not. And Sterling wasn't.
No, sir.
Sterling wasn't.
Sterling was told that Sterling was actually, if the rest of the public, memory a bit better than yours, because you clearly looking to change facts. Sterling would have been a frequently used player for majority preseason games.
The man assessing the players.
Wait. Now you say early. But 24, 48 hours before the first game against Manchester City, that is when the news was made clear that Sterling not only was not in the first match of the squad, apparently to Sterling's surprise because he raised a statement, but he was also not in Chelsea's plans for the foreseeable future, or at least let's say this season. And I don't believe that is early as you put it.
Well, back to your question. You asked me if I how I see Maresca handling their players.
Right.
And I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Don't see nothing wrong with it?
No.
You want to know why you don't see nothing wrong with it? Because Chelsea winning. You know what I'm saying?
So you trying to say if Chelsea was losing, I would
I know you would go a problem with it.
I'd be crawling.
I know you would have a problem with it.
No, man. I don't believe it. But I think that Maresca handled it well. He made it clear, not only to Sterling, but to Chalobah, to Chilwell, who's still there. Because we obviously didn't get the...
But I saw recently that it seemed that Chilwell is back in the squad.
Yeah, he's back in the squad. Obviously, he's a player. He can't left fever to play in reserves or so you got to bring him back in the squad. I think Chilwell could do a job in games that he need to rotate, I think, too, as well. So I ain't had no problem with Chile coming back in the squad. But yeah, I think that Maresca, I ain't got no problems with the players that he decided to let go of. That's the honest truth.
Well, again, I will hold my judgment, or reserve my judgment rather, to be get midway through the season, for example, and if you form dips or fluctuates, I can definitely
you would definitely
know your perspective.
Remind me.
Right, exactly.
Remind me.
The Sterling issue. The thing, it's not my issue with that is not so much that he wrong for at the end concluding that Sterling was not a part of the plans. Fair enough. But it's just the abrupt nature. Because unlike you, I will tell you the truth.
Football is a brutal sport, man.
Is a what?
A brutal sport.
It can be. But we
sport.
both know that all indications suggest that Sterling was going to feature under Maresca this season. And then at last minute, I don't know if something happened. And I feel there's more than meets the eye. But, at last minute, abruptly, you get news that he need to look for another club. You know what I'm saying? I guess but correction, maybe it was too hard on you. If you mean that he was early in the sense that he still get a week or two before he transfer him in the shot.
Yeah, I think it was early enough,
sure.
man. I think it was early enough. Sterling had enough time to find a club. He find a club. He find a challenger for the title. So Sterling
in some respect, some people might say he found the club. I know you would disagree, but we'll come to that later.
Well, you find a club.
So
you find a club.
As far as it pertains to Chelsea though, what do you think Chelsea's ceiling is, ambition-wise, this year? You tell me you finished 12th last season. I will admit that I did not know that, you see. But probably was on the table, right? I don't tend to look that far down there, you know what I'm saying? But so I really miss the fact that he was in bottom half. But you sure he was in bottom half?
Yeah, I'm more sure he finished 12th.
You sure? Because you in conference leagues, you couldn't have finished 12th. You win a trophy last year.
Unless I studied the season before.
Probably studied the season before. Exactly. You see misleading the public.
Oh yeah, boy.
I think you finished 8th.
You're right, I finished 8th.
The man misleading the public.
I feel like you finished there again. But anyhow.
But the thing is, right, that even though it's 8th and not 12th, I still don't look that far on the table. So I wouldn't hand anyways. But go ahead.
Right.
Where do you think you could finish this year?
I start every season looking at them. Regardless.
No late story.
Regardless of who manager there, who players there, I always start the season looking at them. But being realistic, obviously, I seen how the team playing within the first 6 games. I think that team got a good chance of finishing top 4 this season. For starters.
Right.
Then January hit and you see where he is. Then you know if it could push for the challenge for the title or not. But I think that this Chelsea squad can finishing. I could confidently say that this Chelsea side. I guess they don't make chance. I could confidently say that I believe that this Chelsea side should be finishing in top 4.
Should be finishing top 4. Well, the amount of money that you spend, I would tend to agree to. But you're correct. I think you have a good chance. You have a more than a decent chance. I think, unless injuries or something goes wrong. I guess, okay, so far you've played City, and I think the other team that I would consider to be, well, maybe you had 2 fixtures that I would normally consider to be a tough fixture. But 3. City, Brighton. I thought Brighton would have been a good test. And I think West Ham, would have been a difficult game. You kind of handled West Ham game comfortably in the end.
The West Ham game was difficult, in a sense, but obviously we handled it well. But yeah, those 3 games was games that, make you watch Chelsea to see what they can do.
Right.
You understand? And I think they handled it well. Even the Brighton game, or despite we concede 2 goals, I think that Chelsea played well. Even in Manchester City game that we lost, I think that Chelsea played very well in that Manchester City game. I know you think, but I think that Chelsea played well in that Manchester City game. Despite losing.
Honestly, right? I think the game was tight. I don't think it was that you get walkover. You lost 2-0 or 1-0?
2-0.
Right. I don't think you got walkover though. So I mean, it wasn't a game that to me ever looked like you would win it, but it wasn't a game where I felt like as though you get outclassed. Speaking about the Man City game, the other games that you said the performances have tended to be good. I do see you as genuine top 4 contenders this season, and like you said, I guess when we hit January, February, if it's still thereabouts, obviously your ambition, your target will change.
Correct.
And you would figure that, you might got a good chance here of getting all the way. I guess, the point I was going to make though is that obviously, like everybody else, every team has, stiffer challenges that lay ahead, tougher games. So I think, when Chelsea play the likes of Arsenal, for example, Liverpool.
Who?
Sorry? Who? I said Liverpool, sir. Oh. When you play Liverpool, likes of Arsenal, Newcastle, Tottenham, for example, to a certain degree, I think we will know more. Yeah. I think also how you handle. I think it kind of start ready, but I guess throughout the season, if squad will be tested in terms of Europa League, Premier League, injuries, we'll see. Where it can go.
Right.
But in terms of top 4, we said Chelsea should finish in top 4. Now, are there any teams in particular that you might be looking at? I think as presently constructed, top 4 is Liverpool, City, Arsenal, and Chelsea, right, in 4th. I think Villa might be in 5th.
Correct. Teams that I got that
you got you
open, right.
That might start you from getting top 4, or might join you in top 4 rather.
Right. I got 6 teams, so it's like City, obviously, Liverpool, Arsenal, myself, Aston Villa, and I was in Newcastle. All
right. So wait.
Them are the teams that I feel got chances. You say City, obviously. City can finish in top 4.
City can finish in top 4.
Okay. The other 5 teams, I believe that those are the teams that can make it top 4.
Okay.
I know the order.
Right.
I ain't saying that City winning title either.
Okay.
But them are the teams that can be top 4 or challenging. Like from so far away saw, them are the teams that I got to finish in the top 4. Or top 6 actually.
All right. I have a few questions. All right. So we know that City's place is a given. I think Arsenal's place as well is a given. I think.
But I also would say this before we move on. I don't feel that City will be to this year.
But we can City.
But I know you didn't come to them. But I just mean that
so
I want pushing now. I want pushing. I don't feel City going to be taken.
So wait. Actually, know what I thought? I was gonna ask a question. Right, you almost get me off track, but you don't want to get me off track. I want to save this question for the next segment. But before I get in that segment, in terms of teams, you mentioned City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and you said the other 2 that you think would challenge would be Villa and Newcastle. You left out Tottenham and left out Manchester United. Who are the other names that I think people would normally associate with a top four challenge?
I think you agree with me for laughing on Manchester United. Come on.
But tell me, wait, go.
Man, Manchester United, they got a lot going on, man.
They're good. say plain.
No, I don't want disrespect.
Yo, what?
United fans that watching, man.
Wait. Let me paraphrase. Or actually, no, let me clarify. Better word. When I say, let me look in camera too. When I say that Man United are no good, I'm not disrespecting the club. I'm talking about the quality of the team. The team is not a good team.
Well, correct.
Okay, good. That's all I'm trying to say.
The team is not a well-balanced squad at all. So I don't see how United will be challenging for top 4, top 5, top 6.
We 6 games in, and I think they've lost 3 games already, right? Drawn.
Three losses. 2 draws.
It's 2 draws? I think it's 1 draw and 2 wins.
3 losses, 1 draw, and 2 wins. Correct.
2 wins, right?
You're right.
Right. I believe, right?
And one of those wins was against a 10-man Southampton team.
I recall. I personally believe that 6 games in, I think if they suffer another defeat or 2, I think the top 4 should cease, because I think that would be too much of a gap to claim. I know that it's still early stages, people will drop points, inevitably, but I do believe that the level of consistency that most teams in our top 4 can demonstrate throughout the season, I don't think is a deficit United could pull back if they lose another game or 2. So they really have zero margin for error at this early stage, because I believe that they've lost too many games already.
And to the opponents that they lost against them.
But I don't know about you, but for me, I don't really feel, it's not a surprise for me. I didn't expect the team to progress. I was saying from early on, maybe the first season, and certain people told me that I was hating. But I said that I didn't think, although they won the first season, many times I won the trophy, the Carabao Cup, I didn't think the style of play was progressive. The second season, we know what happened last year. They had a nice cup run, and you can't take. I'm not trying to take away the fact that they won the FA Cup, but I didn't feel as though the team was set up in a way that I saw improvement, you know. And to retain the manager, especially after the fact that publicly you were looking for another manager, I think that's it just looked all around like a mess. And for me personally, I think if Ten Hag had any decency about him,
he would left a job.
Pardon?
He would leave a job.
He would left a job, but no, this is why.
Why would a man leave a job like that?
As a football manager, right? He don't need. I'm pretty sure them is good months sometimes before getting a job, even a year or 2. So and there are other areas in football that they can work. But the point I'm making though is that I'm not talking about leaving a job because he bad or whatever the case it be. I'm simply saying, if I was in a role and my employers publicly have sought out other potential candidates for a job, I don't know if I continue that job, because already you kind of are undermining me. It's clear I'm not your man.
Well, if I get paid, they kind of big bucks, they continue that job. They got. I don't know. They got praise you. But no, boy. Honestly, I ain't got no problem with Ten Hag staying in the job. I think the board of Manchester got to say, listen, this man ain't doing a good enough job. Even winning the FA Cup against Manchester City, they don't want him staying in the job this season. He was publicly, as you know, say they were probably looking for another manager. That was the right way. Look for a manager, get a manager, and get rid of Ten Hag.
Yeah. But
because we seen the same thing that we have seen from Ten Hag last season and the season before.
I actually think the game worse.
Me too.
The manner of the defeat to Spurs at the weekend.
Yeah.
It suggests to me that, and I mean,
of all teams at home.
If you saw the first goal, they considered men Rashford overran the ball, and Van der Ven picked it up.
Correct.
And that was the second minute of the game. And anybody could overrun the ball. That happens. But the reaction to losing the ball from Rashford.
No one trying to close down Van der Ven. Man running the entire field.
But Rashford started running. He didn't even turn around to chase back in the second minute. So I'm saying that something is definitely wrong with your team. So I agree with you. I guess we could rule out Man United from, or sorry, not we could rule them out still early, but I guess I don't believe that they would be in contention. Let me ask another question. We kind of both agree that Ten Hag will probably replace at some point. Mm-hmm. When would you see that happening?
I expect him Monday when he wake up to see Eric Ten Hag has been sacked. So I think that Ten Hag should be sacked everything. I don't know if the waiting the international break. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. But they should be looking for a manager or no. No matter if he wins the next 3 games, Eric Ten Hag is not the man for the job.
Okay. I feel because they haven't played since the Spurs defeat yet. They play on Thursday against Porto in the Europa League, and then they face Villa at the weekend. So I believe if they lose, if they get 2 bad results in those next 2 games, which is the international break, I believe that then a change will probably be made. But again,
there's 2 tough games. 2 tough games. Aston Villa ain't gonna be easy again.
Right.
And the Porto again surely ain't gonna be easy again.
Correct. And I believe that Man, you made a rod for their own back. Because, like you said, they should have sacked him in the summer, especially having looked at alternative managers. And I believe that Ten Hag should have been, or I gone from over here. Because if you're looking at another guy to replace me, it tells me I'm not your first option, and I'm just here because you ain't get the man you really want.
Nobody don't walk away and left money, man. What? Nobody don't walk away and leave money.
Nobody don't walk away and leave money.
Come on, why would they just up and decide that you're gonna leave your job when they can wait to the family? and get paid.
All right, man. Right, sure. Well, if you want really economical, common sense way of looking at it, fine. I just don't go from a stature point of view. Right, my values. Fair enough. The other thing you mentioned that you didn't have to be in top 4 would be Tottenham. Any reason why? Is because he hate Tottenham or because he got actual valid reasons?
I think actually Tottenham is playing some good football at things. But Spurs are always Spurs.
And you want to talk about disrespect? I'm not. Okay, go ahead.
Spurs will always be Spurs.
Spurs will always be Spurs.
I don't feel Spurs. The other things I mentioned though, to be fair, the other things that I mentioned, I think that they're a bit stronger than Spurs at the moment.
Right.
You know, but Spurs are playing some good football. That's all I can say. But I don't feel like Spurs can actually be one of those teams to be in the top 4.
Okay. Would you say, for example, or rather, do you agree with Postecoglou that he wins a trophy in his second season? Do you think Spurs will win a trophy or have a good chance to win a trophy this year? At least.
Honestly, I had no problem with Postecoglou saying so. You know, I like that mentality. That I like that mentality. Man, Spurs could win a trophy. It may not be the Premier League, but a cup.
If you can't get them to be top 4, if they top 4, they can't be Premier League.
Correct. But yeah. I could see Spurs winning a cup, but they gotta prove it. He gotta prove it. He said he's winning a trophy in his second season. Prove it.
Okay.
I ain't got it on the carrots that they will, but prove me wrong.
Fair enough. I share sentiments about the Tottenham squad compared to other teams that you did mention. I just think that Tottenham might be a little thin in terms of depth. Yeah. I think that's what is going to go against them in terms of challenging or getting in rather than top 4. But I think they will be like on the outskirts for most of the season before actually breaking into it. You mentioned Newcastle, you mentioned Villa as the 2 lately challengers. I think Villa having qualified for top 4 last season deserves the respect of being mentioned. You think they can retain their place in top 4?
No. I don't think so. Because if they remain, then somebody gotta drop out. Somebody else will gotta drop out. Because I looking to get in. You understand? So I don't know if Liverpool will make way, but Villa can challenge. I can see Villa challenging in terms of that 5th, 6th position.
Right.
And maybe if one of the big boys decide to slip up, yes, maybe they could finish in the top 4. Because Villa have been playing good football for the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, 2 seasons.
2 seasons, yeah. So, yeah. I think that Villa could, Villa gonna be thereabouts.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
You mentioned Newcastle, that was the one that kind of surprised me a bit because I don't got Newcastle to be in it. Like for me, I actually fancy. Hope I doing some silly for saying this, but in some ways, I actually fancy. If that shoved me, I actually would fancy like a team like maybe Tottenham this season over Newcastle.
I think that looking at it right now, position at Newcastle, with Isaac out, one of the best players, and still in that position, I think that with him back, they could play even better. And I don't think that we should sleep on Newcastle. Newcastle got a good squad, good players.
I still think they're lacking in depth too, to be honest. But if everything goes right and most of their key players stay fit, I know Tonali's back. That's like a new signing.
Correct.
Right.
I think that really hurt. That's one of the players that really hurt Newcastle last season. That they missed.
Correct. Yeah. So I get, but I still they still have some elements of their squad that I think could be improved in terms of when you compare them to other genuine big names, for example. So, but I think if everything goes well and they were to stay fit, and the speculation around Eddie Howe does not prove to be distraction, then I could see them also being thereabouts like Aston Villa, and potentially capitalizing on any slip-ups from one of the other names. So, in terms of before we go to the next contender, anybody that you see like a surprise package this season that potentially could maybe not breaking, but at least be part of the conversation.
Not yet.
I have one.
I need me here, but I need a little more time to really find that dark horse that could, surprise me in terms of. But I don't think that I know.
I mean, I don't think they will, but I think Brighton could potentially be like one of those teams that on the coattails a little bit. All depends again on injuries, and stuff like that. But I think Brighton play a nice brand of football, and I think Brighton has a decent squad.
Brighton with this high back line, I don't know if they got, but if you see that, you see that. But I think in my honest opinion, I think Brighton's a player better on the Deserby.
Better on the Deserby?
Correct.
See, that thing, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily always come and compare how a man look on the previous match to how a man look. No. What we're looking at from Brighton is that I saying Brighton look like they could give anybody in the league a tough game. And on the day,
So you watched the Chelsea game?
I didn't watch the Chelsea game. Okay. That was a game that I wanted to see, but I didn't get to watch that. But I saw Brighton game against Man United, which may not be telling me much because Man United have been poor for most of the season.
Because in my opinion, Brighton Chelsea game, despite Chelsea conceding 2 goals, I won't call it a tough game. Because I think that Chelsea give Brighton 2 goals. I think that Chelsea put themselves under the pressure. Chelsea create their own pressure.
You goalkeeper created pressure for you.
Well,
I don't
want to the bus. I said the team.
You go cheer on the bus. Everybody see what happened. Everybody saw what happened.
Sport, the team, Chelsea put itself under pressure. We gifted Brighton 2 goals. You understand? Anybody see his score would think it was a good game. I mean, but we give them 2 goals. So that's why they say, well, Brighton look better on the Deserby. That's my opinion. I honestly think so.
Okay. We will see. I still think that they're looking a decent outfit on the.
Yeah, they still look decent, but I think on the Deserby was a little bit more better.
You mean Deserby for a season? Because last season was something I don't.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take your word for it. But I still, if I was going to plump for a dark horse, a team that is not often mentioned to be in top 4 contention or European place contention, I will opt for Brighton. But I'll come in to our next top 4 contender team. And the reason that I saving them for last is because it's the best. But nevertheless, that's besides the point. Liverpool. Now, for you, because this can be where our debate may become a little feisty. Brace yourself. Here's the question. It can become feisty because you come and say a lot on the high things will make up. You can't help yourself. So we know you could, treat you on the high jobs when you get a chance, or if you get a chance, rather. But in terms of Liverpool, top 4 contender or title challenger?
Top 4 contender. And then again, top 4 contender for no.
Okay.
For no, because the end of the day, Liverpool changed managers, and 6 games only gone. They already lost one to Nottingham Forest. So again, that we expected Liverpool to win. So already dropped points there. Nevertheless, we still got to analyze this new manager properly. Like, only 6 games gone, so I can't. Like Jurgen Klopp, I could confidently say yes, they make a challenge. They can make top 4. I still got able to see what this guy can do. Mm-hmm. So I can reserve my thoughts on Liverpool for now. Till after international break. Maybe I could get a better. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very, very surprised because you called me excessively over the weekend. And you had a lot to say about Arne Slot at Liverpool. You know, talk about Liverpool top of the table and Liverpool in the league.
Well, they are. They are. No. Liverpool. But
you know what you say. I see that. I know it would have come up. I know it would have come up. I just want honest to hear the nonsense. I used to talk for the regular.
Oh Lord. Liverpool are talking.
Go ahead.
So Liverpool title to lose.
For 6 games.
Yeah.
Oh Lord,
yeah. I put it under pressure.
No, sir, you can't put me under pressure.
No, try to get rid of pressure.
You can't put me under pressure, right? Mm-hmm. I just want a Liverpool fan who don't feel pressure. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to my team. No. I would say Liverpool are outside challengers for title, right? Outside challengers. And here's the reason why. I feel as though people got a lot of amnesia, in the sense that yes, Liverpool finished third last year. I think they were 9 points in the end behind City, 7 points behind Arsenal. Mm-hmm. But I think up until game week 33 or 34, Liverpool were still in the race in terms of genuine contenders for the title. I think people forget that Liverpool actually led the season at top of the table for majority of the season, most weeks. So they were an integral part of the title picture up until, let's say, last 3 or 4 games where they fell away, right? No, I'm not going to get into the reasons why they fell away. Mm-hmm. But yes, there has been a managerial change. But I think the squad is pretty much the same. A young squad, a year better. I believe that certain players in that squad will be better for last year's experience, have been falling short into the race.
But will you say that Liverpool lack depth?
No. A bit serious?
I mean, like, the players that can come off the bench. You don't think so? Fair enough. Well, I guess
I don't think. Okay.
You know, well, you're a Liverpool fan, so you're a bit biased.
Wait, no, it's not biased.
Think everybody in the squad is good players.
No. I'm not you. We talking about yourself. I am not you.
But
you talking about yourself and Marissa Chandler, because two of you all right. Two of you all the C players through blue tinted glasses when it comes to Chelsea. You actually right 2 days ago. You get by here tell me. Actually no. Last time we came on the show, you and Marissa defended Miss Amount. When I remind you about the defense of Miss Amount, you tell me we hear my problem with respect for my chest now. So I can talk. I ain't gonna defend him more as a Chelsea player.
Which is fine. I don't have to defend Miss.
But you're right.
It don't matter if he's a good player or not to me. No. So you know what I'm saying. But we don't move straight away from my point. I don't think that Liverpool depth, squad depth. I think that Liverpool might got a squad depth problem. I think that players that come off the bench is a drop off in quality.
A significant drop off in quality. That's the thing, because I don't necessarily.
I want to say a significant drop off, but it's a drop off.
But everybody bench, you go be a drop off.
Not necessarily.
Most times,
Christopher Nkunku on the bench for the last 6 games. That was a drop off.
So who started with Henry?
Pick your poison. Pick your poison.
I think Jadon Sancho started left.
Christopher Nkunku right across the front line. Is a big drop off.
I think just because he's no player. I think eventually he would be
no player.
I think just because he no come. I think eventually he will come in.
Neto. We compare Neto, Madueke. It's a big drop off, and if we do a swap, Modric, Sancho, big drop off.
Wait. You just say who? Modric who?
That's Marissa boy. You got big up Modric.
Listen. Diaz, Gakpo. It's not a huge drop off. Jota, Darwin. Again, different type of players, but not necessarily who's a huge drop off either.
But when we come to the midfield.
Yeah, the midfield, okay, fine. The midfield. Szoboszlai. No. Midfield, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, who are the three that start most of the games so far. In reserve, you have Endo, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, who's injured right now. And I believe one or two other youngsters may be around the squad. I don't think it's a significant drop off, because really, when you look at it, Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott have been around for about 3 or 4 years now. They should be ready to step in.
Take first team.
Correct. If there's an injury or if called upon. we can't relate on the fact that that's a drop off for their young players anymore. They've done it for the most part. Defense, not to me. Trent, Conor Bradley. You know, boy that I would say you can't really replace, but two, I would say you can't really replace. Saints would be maybe Mo Salah and Virgil. Because I think if Virgil is missing, then that you're definitely missing something.
Boy, did you buy the guy from Juventus? Chiesa?
Yeah. But when I said, I would think Salah's obviously better player, but I think that Chiesa, no rival, needs time to bed in, needs time to settle.
Right.
I'm not, and he hasn't really played much yet, so I can't really say what he can be this season or going forward. That's like an unknown quantity.
Biggest problem is staying fit. I think he's a quality player, but injuries, man. But we'll see.
But the point I'm making, so I could get off of Liverpool. The point I'm making though is that Liverpool to me are outside. I think they're third favorites for the title. But I would still say they're in a title race. The question marks with Liverpool that lie, or the fact that Liverpool haven't faced any necessary top class opposition just yet in the league. I think they have a more difficult run of fixtures coming up. So then I guess after, between now and let's say December, we have a better idea of how good Liverpool can be under this new manager.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So
I agree.
But the reason that I think Liverpool got a chance is that I think the squad is good enough to be at least be in conversation.
No. I think you always think Liverpool got a chance, regardless.
No, I'm not you, sir. I'm not you. You started the show by saying not start the show. But you said at some point tonight that you believe that whenever you start the season, you come in. You come back. But don't try to cast your own aspirations on me. No. I don't necessarily always believe that I got a chance each and every season. But I think that this squad is good enough. And what I trust more than anything else is that I trust my management in terms of the people who did recruiting in terms of the manager. I think that they've proven by getting the club appointment that they've been thorough and they've done the research and they've good at selecting a decent manager. I think that Arne Slot, not saying he will be successful or a failure, still left to be seen. Right. But I trust the fact that the reasons that they hired this man are reasons that are valid and this man could do the job. But we shall see.
We shall see.
Right. But I raised Liverpool because the question is whether or not this is going to be a two-horse race between City and Arsenal, or if Liverpool or somebody else could potentially spoil the party.
Yeah, I actually think this season could be tighter than any other season. Because as I told you before, I personally don't feel City will win the title.
Okay. So who are you tipping?
I ain't tipping anybody.
No. Because you don't get I said Liverpool. You ain't gonna win the title. So if not Liverpool, will you tell me Chelsea?
I don't know who will win it, but
But you don't know who will win it because you're not Oracle. But I ask you who you think. Who you suspect?
I don't think that City gonna win the title. Because my reason for this is no team have never won the Premier League title 5 times in a row.
No team never won it 4 times in a row either.
Correct.
So
that's my argument. I can't say they're winning it 5.
So if not them, who? As Nude would say, who? If not them, who?
We can see how his season play out.
No, you sound like you
because the end there,
Rodri injured
for the rest of the season.
Right.
That's a big blow. Kevin De Bruyne, he injured too or not yet? But
he had a little knock, but he ain't serious.
He ain't serious. But Rodri, I think that Rodri miss can be a very big miss. And City can drop points this season more than they did last season, the season before. I think can see City can win games, yes, for sure. And they got Erling Haaland and outscore teams. But I don't feel when you bring about the bigger teams like the Arsenal and the Liverpools and the Chelseas, again, I feel that City can't win by the title this season.
So who you think will win? You deflecting and you running from the argument.
We can see, man.
You being a genuine fact sitter.
We can see.
All right, so say someone want to say I ain't come and say give my thoughts, right?
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. I honestly cannot say definitively that I don't think City can win the title. City are still favorites to me, very much favorites. I think 4 in a row deserves our respect. Something that you don't necessarily have, but I think that 4 in a row deserves our respect. I think that City still remain
I
favorites
ain't
for
got
a
no
title.
respect for City.
Despite
100 charges, I could go.
Despite sir, stop trying. Sir, I let you talk. Let me talk.
I could go respect for a team that got 100 charges. Come on, man. No. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I can talk again.
You continue.
Sorry. Apologize for what I said just now. In case I don't think anybody heard. But anyhow, sir. What was this saying? City.
Man, lost his train of thought.
City deserves our respect because of you. That way, lost your train of thought. By the way, City deserve our respect. I think City remain favorites. Do I think that? I mean, that's been the case in recent years. I don't think, although City won 5 in a row or whatever the case would be, I could call at least 2 or 3 of those seasons where it wasn't like City ran away with the title. It was always a close race. Somebody else step up to the plate. It's just a matter of whether it be 1 team or 2 teams this year, or even maybe 3. I honestly believe that Arsenal right now sit best place to challenge City. Where the title to me would be won or lost when it comes to Arsenal will be not so much games in direct competition to City or the other teams in top 4, for example, because Arsenal have, for the most part, done well in recent seasons against the Liverpools and the Cities. I think Arsenal actually beat City last year in the home game. Correct. And drew at the Etihad. Correct. The draw at the Etihad a couple weeks ago, after being down with 10 men for most of the game. Right. So I think that where the title will be won or lost for Arsenal will be whether or not Arsenal can avoid the potential banana skins that they slip up on throughout the course of the season at key moments. You know what I'm saying? Right. The loss of Fulham, for example, last season. I think the loss of game, I think it might have been, was it Crystal Palace? Somebody beat Arsenal last season. Drop points. I think Crystal Palace might have beaten them in one of the games as well. But those type of teams, you know, are where if Arsenal can improve and ensure that they don't drop points or silly points against those teams, especially at home, I think that Arsenal have a great chance of potentially usurping City for the title. Like I said, I think Liverpool are outside bet, and I think the next team that might be capable might be Chelsea. But again, you gotta see where Chelsea are come the turn of the year, and if they're generally still in the picture, so to speak. You know, but if I was a betting man, I would still bet that City might win it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I might still bet that City might win it.
You don't bet much money there.
Fair enough.
City did it. If it was a betting man, I would have bet on Chelsea because the odds gonna be great if I win.
Lord, sir, you think Chelsea can win the title? You will not be the first deluded fan on the airwaves of social media. You know what I'm saying? You think that Chelsea can win the Premier League?
All right. If Chelsea can maintain its consistency, it's possible.
Of course,
it's possible.
Yeah, of course.
But if Chelsea go back to the up and down, obviously not. But right now they're showing consistency.
Let me ask you an easier question for you to answer, which I think that it might be more declarative about, right? Instead of like dancing around this issue. Chelsea can finish ahead of Liverpool this year.
Well.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Honestly, 2 new managers coming in to these teams. You know, we still got. I'll be honest. We still got to wait and see what these guys do. I can't. You know, it's not like say Jurgen Klopp was there for 5 years and manager and Maresca was there for 5 years and I could tell you yes, Chelsea can finish. No, I think we still got to see Arnold Slot, like in there, play some tough opposition.
So he get by so far.
And yeah, okay. All the games that Liverpool plays so far is games that should have been.
Okay, all right, sir.
Agree.
I mean, Old Trafford. Hey man, listen, Manchester is still Manchester. You tell me to respect.
Tottenham make Old Trafford. Shout out to Old Trafford too. Tottenham make there too. Enough people make there. But all the games that Liverpool plays so far is games that was expected for Liverpool to win.
Okay.
The slip up against Forest.
As you would keep reminding me, keep going.
The slip up against Forest, but anything can slip up, and the next game they bounce back and they continue to win. So we still gotta wait and see a little more from Arnold Slot, to be honest. For me to even say what he feel he can finish or who can finish above who. So I won't say nothing on that regard right now.
Sorry, covering your back, man. You don't want to say that outlandish really, but we did ask my producer to replay it.
Yeah, I'm sure you ain't got nothing to play back later on next year to remind me what he said this, he said that.
Fair enough. But I want to know my memory like an alpha. You know what I'm saying? So even if you don't say it per tape, I can go out here and any memory back. I will remind you that you said it. I just need to be honest and admit that you did say it.
But I honestly think that, as I said before, I think that you need a little more time to assess these two managers. Look good, yes. They're playing well so far. But they need a little more stiffer test. So after Ignacio Berlo, I think Liverpool got Chelsea and a few tough games. So you're able to...
They got Chelsea or Arsenal in close proximity.
Correct. Yes. So you're able to really gauge, the quality of the manager, the subs he making, that kind of thing, the tactics. I can't really judge a man playing Forest and Wolves.
You don't play Wolves?
I can't judge him. Right, I can't judge a man playing Wolves.
Well, anyway, sir, I raised that. You got different rules for yourself and different rules for me. But that's all right.
I ain't judging you. I give you same rules, but I ain't judging you in any 6 games that you play despite you lose a Forest. I ain't judging you still.
You see, you can say so. You can say so every 30 seconds, sir. Anyway, sir. Before I let you over here,
yes,
let you go. I know you don't have to put them in order, but who is your top 4 at the end of the season? And then I also wanted to mention your true relegation teams. I know we didn't talk about it, but who you think going down? You can start with going down first and then come back to top 4.
All right. Who do you think going down? I think Ipswich going down. Hard to call these teams that going down so early, but I would say Ipswich going down. I feel Wolves gonna come up, man. Ipswich right now. I don't want to mention anybody else, man. Ipswich right now. I feel like they go back down. Maybe I don't want to say Wolves, but maybe Wolves. I feel Wolves gonna pull themselves up, man. But
so you said Ipswich,
Wolves.
So you think Wolves going down?
No.
Okay.
It is hard to make a prediction who going down right now at this point, but I would say Ipswich for sure. I say Ipswich, man. Who you going, man?
What do I have in mind? I think Ipswich going down. I think Leicester will join them.
I don't feel so.
So I think Ipswich, Leicester, and I fancy. No, after seeing I started seeing my bottom 3 would have been different, but I fancy Ipswich, Leicester, and I think Southampton might very well join them. So I think the same 3 that came up will probably go back down again for the second year running, I believe.
Right.
But you're top 4. You don't have to order them because I know you don't want to predict who will win the championships at this stage. So just tell me your top 4.
Top 4? Chelsea.
Ladies and gentlemen, that might be a hint in terms of who you mentioned first. Go on.
Chelsea. Arsenal. City. Liverpool.
Okay.
Maybe an St. Arda might finish.
You hoping as that same order. I don't know if you get it, but you're hoping. Yeah, I tend to agree. Not the order, but I tend to agree that I believe that will be top 4 as well when it's all said and done.
Right.
Yeah. So that was a lovely conversation.
Yeah, man. I looking forward to be back here after international break. Hopefully, I get invited.
Oh, yeah, you get invited.
Cause I might not get invited.
You will get invited. It's better not you will come. He was a man like the height. Anyhow, I want to thank you, Chris, for joining us.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I'm providing your insight, your tongue-in-cheek remarks as well. Always welcome. Yes, and thank you, viewers, for joining us for another episode of the Dugout Podcast. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Whole Health Pharmacy, and we also want to thank our other sponsors, Spirit Led Studios, for sponsoring us and doing a great job. Once more, you can follow us, the show, at the Dugout Podcast. You can follow me individually at Drew9106. If you want to check out Christopher and his Chelsea views, you can follow him at
me.
Yeah, you. You must say yourself.
Oh Lord. You can follow me on Instagram, Kingpin369.
Fair enough. Kingpin369.
369.
Right. Yeah, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And once again, we'll see you next time.